Hey guys, this is Epekni. Today we're going to be going over how to work with Moira as Mercy. Now the reason I'm making this video is because some people have asked me, how it is that I have such a dynamic with my healing partner, Ultimate. The reason that is because we have a lot of practice, and I wanted to share some of the tips that we do a lot together in order to maximize our healing count. Now this guide really isn't for the most advanced of healers in Overwatch, but rather more for those in the beginner range, trying to get to that more intermediate level. So let's dive right into it. The first thing you're going to want to understand is how much heals you can actually put out with the Mercy Moira combination. Mercy's primary healing ability can do 55 heals per second, and Moira's can do 65 heals per second. Those primaries combined do 120. If you add Moira's orb to that for an additional 65, that totals 185 heals per second. Now this is a lot of heals, and you have to remember as a healer, sometimes you need to combine all of these resources at once to keep something like Orion alive against heavy DPS like a Junk or a Pharah, etc., as I will demonstrate here. Now as you can see, Mercy's primary 55 heals per second was definitely not going to save that hog alone. However, in this case, the Moira was smart enough to know this, added her heals for the total 185 heals per second that we talked about earlier, and saved the hog. Now moving on from that topic, onto their ultimate abilities. For the most part, you almost never want to combine your ults. Both of your ults do a lot of healing, and using them both simultaneously would potentially waste healing that could be used to save a later team fight. Only in rare circumstances would you ever need both of the ults combined. Now, as for the ults themselves, I won't be going over Mercy's ult in this video, as this is more of a Mercy Moira combo video, but I will go over Moira's ult, as you'll see why later. Moira's ult name is called Coalescence. Coalescence is very long range and does both heals and damage. It can heal at 140 heals per second over the duration of 8 seconds for a max total single target healing potential of 1120. However, more interestingly, it does 70 damage per second. Why do I mention this? Because this makes it very good for offense as well, especially when you combine it with Mercy's plus 30% damage boost, making it a grand total of 91 damage per second. And on top of all that, Moira's Coalescence goes through shields. Yes, go to point, go to point. Moving on from that, the question I want to talk about now is, does Moira get her biotic charge faster while she's being damage boosted by Mercy? Now, we did a bunch of trials with this. I don't have anything to actually tell me the actual values Moira is getting while she's using her damage secondary. However, we did a timer-based test, and we found that both with damage boost and without damage boost, the time for her to go from 0% to 100 was between 7.6 and 8 seconds on all trials, and we did about 10, 5 for each. So they're all within margin of error, and so the answer is no. Moira does not get biotic charge faster when being damage boosted by Mercy. However, that being said, she does get her ultimate a lot faster while being damage boosted by Mercy, because that is actually directly correlated to the amount of damage she's doing and not just purely on the fact that she's doing damage. Moira is a really strong hero. However, she has two main weaknesses that Mercy covers really well. The first is her relatively limited movement speed without fade, and the second is her limited healing resource. Mercy covers these weaknesses really well by first having Guardian Angel that lets her move ridiculously fast near her teammates. 2. Having unlimited healing resource, and as a bonus, 3. Her primary healing ability locks onto a target, making her ideal for fast-moving DPS. Now what all this information boils down to is the fact that there are certain heroes that are easier for Mercy to get to and heal than Moira. I'm not saying Moira can't heal certain targets, I am saying the following targets are, however, easier for Mercy. Bastion, Doomfist, Genji, Pharah, Tracer, Widow, Winston, and Wrecking Ball. Of course, the most important target you're going to want to keep alive is your Moira, because if she goes down, about half your team's healing goes down with her. Mercy usually can't heal a 6v5 fight on her own, so risky reses on Moira are usually more worth it than other DPS or even tanks at times. Possible future video on resing if you guys want it. Now on the extremely important topic of not dying, you're going to use comms to tell your healer if there are any potential dangers around you or if you need help healing a target, as demonstrated like this.
Let's get you back out there.
Feel the run, heavy Orisa. Orisa.
Alright, go in, go in. Get it.
Alright, healing through this. Thank you. Alright.
Dash is one. Hold up, they need help. I need heals.
While that went really fast, calling out for Moira to heal me during the res saved my life. Then she saved my life again by calling out the Genji. I saved the Orisa by calling out that I needed additional heals, and then Moira saved the rest of the team by calling out that she needed additional heals on the DPS. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what to do when you're stuck under fire with your Moira. You can do one of three things. You could let yourself die and reset with your team, which is a fairly valid option. You could heal each other and try to run away, which usually works until Moira runs out of biotic resource. Or 3, you can do a move what I like to call the Fade Taxi. Now, what this move is Moira enters Fade and jumps to another safe location or just further away from fire and allows Mercy the line of sight to Guardian Angel to her, getting that necessary distance from danger. Now, I would only recommend doing this if you aren't with your team and you think you can get back safely. Otherwise, it's just usually better to let yourself die and reset with your team. Now that's all for this video, as it is getting a little lengthy. It did take me about a week to put all the information together and edit this footage into one cohesive video. If you like it, please slap that like button and comment if you really like it, because that tells YouTube's algorithm to put it up in the suggestions. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because that's super cheesy. Thank you for watching. See you next time.